You've said it probably 100 times. To friends, half joking. To yourself, not joking at all. I'm just bad with money. Feels like a harmless observation. A fact about yourself. Like being bad at parallel parking, but every time you say it, you're not describing yourself. You're training yourself. Last week you overdrew your account by 40. Your first thought wasn't, I miscalculated a payment. It was, of course I did. I'm bad with money. A friend suggested a budgeting app. You waved it off. That stuff doesn't work for people like me. Someone at work mentioned their investment portfolio, and you laughed and said, I wouldn't even know where to start. I've never been a numbers person. Each of these moments felt small, reasonable, even self-aware. But notice what happened in each one. An event occurred, and instead of examining it, you reached for the identity that already explained it. The overdraft didn't teach you anything, because I'm bad with money had already provided the answer before you'd even looked at what happened. This is called a self-fulfilling prophecy, and in psychology, it's one of the most well-documented ways identity shapes behavior. The mechanism is almost embarrassingly simple. Once you label yourself with a trait, your brain starts unconsciously filtering evidence to confirm it, and this is the more damaging part. It starts making decisions that produce more confirming evidence. If you believe you're bad with money, checking your account feels pointless, so you check it less. Budgeting feels like it won't work for someone like you, so you don't try it. Or you try it half-heartedly and treat the first failure as proof, not as normal trial and error. You don't negotiate the raise, because numbers people get raises, not you. Every one of these small withdrawals from effort isn't caused by actually being bad with money. It's caused by believing you are. And the belief manufactures the evidence after the fact. Here's what this costs concretely. Research on financial self-efficacy, essentially, how capable people believe they are with money, consistently finds that people with low financial self-efficacy save less, carry more high-interest debt, and are significantly less likely to negotiate salary or investigate better financial products, independent of their actual income or math ability. In other words, the belief predicts the outcome better than the skill does. If low self-efficacy costs you even one skipped negotiation over a decade, a single raise left unrequested, that's routinely tens of thousands of dollars in lifetime earnings, before compounding is even factored in. Not because you couldn't have gotten it, because people like me don't get that, made asking feel pointless before you tried. Your coworker Ben used to say the exact same thing you do. Not a numbers guy. He failed his one attempt at budgeting in his 20s and treated it as confirmation, same as everyone does. The difference started with a strange, almost accidental shift. A manager once corrected him mid-sentence. Ben said, I'm just not good at this, and the manager said, you're not good at it yet. You've done it twice. Ben says that single correction stuck with him longer than any actual financial advice. Not good at it yet reframed the entire story, went from a fixed trait to a skill he simply hadn't practiced. He started tracking expenses badly, then less badly, then competently. He's not naturally gifted with numbers. He just stopped treating every mistake as proof of an identity and started treating it as data. This is the part worth sitting with. I'm bad with money and I haven't practiced managing money are describing the exact same set of facts, but they produce completely different futures. One is a life sentence. The other is a starting point. Your brain can't tell the difference between a trait you were born with and a trait you've simply repeated to yourself often enough to believe. But your future decisions absolutely can tell the difference, because one version of the story invites practice, and the other forecloses it. This isn't about forced positivity or pretending a mistake didn't happen. It's about being precise with language, because the label you choose after a mistake determines whether that mistake becomes information or becomes identity. Here's what actually works. Every time you catch yourself saying, I'm bad with money, or thinking it, replace it out loud if you can with, I haven't practiced this specific thing yet. Not as a magic phrase, but because it's simply more accurate, and accuracy changes what you do next. I'm bad with money ends the sentence. I haven't practiced this yet implies a next action. Then actually take one small next action, immediately if possible. Track 1 week of spending. Ask one question about your 401k you've been avoiding. The goal isn't mastery. It's generating one piece of evidence that contradicts the old identity, because the pattern only reverses once your brain has something new to file away. You were never actually bad with money. You were inexperienced with money, and then you told yourself a story that made the inexperience permanent. The overdraft, the skipped budget, the avoided investment conversation. None of those were verdicts. They were just moments where practice hadn't happened yet. Say the accurate sentence instead of the comfortable one, and watch how much room it opens up for a future that isn't already written.